Welcome to Field Forward, the ultimate A to Z podcast for field operation professionals. We will delve into the latest trends, strategies, and top tips for optimizing productivity and efficiency in industrial organizations. I'm your host, Cihat Kahraman, the CEO and co-founder of VSight. Today is the first episode, and in this episode we will delve into explore the differentiation of augmented reality, assisted reality, and mixed reality, as well as the impact on the industrial organizations. We will also dive into the world of industrial smart glasses, their implications for the industry, and discuss also the various use cases and benefits they bring. Joining us as a special guest, Liang, the CEO of Rokid, our esteemed partner. Welcome, Liang.
Hello, Cihat. Very nice to be here. Thank you for inviting.
Very happy to have you here, Liang. Would you kindly introduce yourself and also Rokid, and also actually your personal experience with Rokid?
Yes, of course. So first of all, Cihat, thank you again for getting me here. I'm really extremely appreciate for that. So my name is Liang Guan. Currently, I'm the general manager of Rokid, and the Rokid, we are a augmented reality company. So actually, I was trained as an optical research scientist. At our early stages, I was primarily working in our optical lab. I was responsible for all the optics, including near-eye display, waveguides, light changing cameras, etc. But now, after our 9 years journey, we have grown from a small team now to a full 50 people organization. So it is absolutely amazing journey, and we're continue growing. Now Rokid is currently at its unicorn stage, and we become one of the most innovative augmented reality companies.
Amazing. I didn't know that you're coming from the kitchen of the optics, actually, from the backstage and from there. That's amazing.
That was the fun part, right?
Yeah, definitely. Before we proceed, actually, I want to ask you the first and initial concept question. Can you please elaborate a bit for the audience? What is the difference between augmented reality, assisted reality, and mixed reality? And plus, also, if you can elaborate further, like how Rokid stands in this relation.
Okay, so first of all, Rokid, we are true believers of augmented reality. So if we look at the history, if we look at the beginning, how this industry starts, right? So augmented reality, so basically it is a view of the real world and the physical world, right? So it was with the overlay of the digital elements. And then for the digital elements, it can support you, it can help you to do all the different work. So the best case scenario here, they are industrial applications. And then for the mixed reality, so this terminology become like popular in the recent about a decade. So the mixed reality actually is a view of the real world, which is the physical world, right? But it has an overlay with the digital element. So where the physical and digital elements, they can be interacting. So they can interact with each other. So the best use case here might be like, immersive learning, immersive training, etc. Regarding assisted reality, so that is a relatively even new term in the recent years. However, I think it's more in the computer space than in the AR space. So it's more like a wearable computer. But the benefits is very important to understand as well, because it can help the workers to do some you will need your two hands, right? So you can benefit from the hands free. But now you can see, okay, so all those definitions, they are converging. So they have like blurry, they blurred, right? So we believe that all those technology will be eventually converting to augmented reality, because with the computing power, they're accelerating. So the optical technology, they're advances every day. So all those technology will be focusing on one key problem, which is how you can interact with the digital world, with the physical world. So we think like it will be converging to only one definition in the future.
I totally agree with you. The border between those is like so vague. Like you don't know where it starts, where it ends. I totally agree. And plus, after the convergence, probably there won't be any differentiating points. It will be all the same. So yeah. And plus, I know that you guys are also very much into industrial applications as us. VSight. So can you tell me more about like how augmented reality and also smart glasses are in general influencing the industries? How what is changing there?
Yeah, yeah. Cihat, like we just mentioned, right? So the technology they advanced every day. But the main thing or the core believing is we believe like no matter how the advantage, how the technology advances, like today we talk about AI, we talk about AR, but we believe that human will always should be in the center. So human should always be considered the core asset for the companies. Um, but there's one problem. We see that during the technology progress, many like field workers, they work really hard, but they seem not be able to benefit from the recent technologies, right? So they are still use the very, very old style, like pen and paper for most of their work. So that's why we are working very closely with great partner like VSight. We're trying to provide this industrial metaverse AR platform. Imagine that you will be able to carry the AI assistant and you can carry this like huge screen in front of your eye when you need it. So wherever you go, right? So it can push all the relative knowledge. It can push all the relative data information per your demands. We believe that with the AR technology, we can turn the field worker into super worker. Okay, so that is what we believe in, and we think like smart glasses and augmented reality will be influencing the industrial landscape, in this positive way.
So very interesting, and I'm more curious. How do you see the use cases? Can you tell me main use cases that you see that is mainly in the market? How do you see them?
Yeah. So let me just share like one good example here, right? So, recently our engineer worked together. We recently deployed a use case in APAC with VSight, right? So the client is a world-known Fortune 500 oil company. So they have many, many challenges, but one of their biggest maintenance challenges is that they always need to use their helicopters to fly their most senior technician to the offshore oil field. Okay, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, sometimes even for some small maintenance work or the repair task. So every year they are spending millions of dollars on those travels. So it's like a really, really some money they should be able to put in somewhere else, right? But now with the technology, the hardware, the software, so one senior technician they can will support tens of the fields without any travel, which is amazing. This never happened before. Now it's not only be able to save the company cost, but more importantly, so the team member, so the technician, they will be able to spend more valuable time with their family members, right? So that's this. We are really, really proud of this teamwork with VSight.
Perfect, perfect. I mean, when I'm thinking about like return of investment, it is just on day one. It is all there at day one. It is already paid back. I think this is very, very valuable for the companies. Of course, also how we help them to kind of make sure that they spend the time they want with the families, with the loved ones. But on the other hand, not the experts, but for the companies also, it is a huge cost cutting, huge cost cutting. Totally agree. And like regarding those use cases, which one is your favorite? What do you think? What is your heart with?
Uh, so there are many, many challenges as well, right? But when we look at things, one, like you just mentioned, we will be gauging the ROI. So what is the ROI it can bring to the company? But also we're pay attention to the individuals. So how we can make individual their work like, they can achieve better work-life balance. So they can be spend more time with the family, with the beloved ones. So those are the two main factors we're looking at. So this is a good example. We have another great example, which is logistic. So in logistic, the workers they are doing long hour but repeatable work. It's very very easy to make mistakes. All human we make mistakes, right? But with the AR glasses, we are able to reduce the error rate to 0%. It's saving also millions of dollars for the logistic company. So currently we deployed a huge project in APAC, and we're also doing the similar work in Europe as well. So those are the favorite use cases.
Very nice, very nice. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. You mentioned oil and gas, Liang. And as you know, like it is very, very important to have a secure and environmentally secure, and also for the workers, a secure environment. How do you see the safety implications of using, for example, a smart glasses or remote assistance or workflows in an industrial site? How do you see that? What are the safety implications of it?
Yeah. Yeah, Tia. So first of all, that is a great question. That is a really, really great question. So I'm a product guy. I've been leading the product for quite a bit years. So at Rokid, the safety is always number one, and it should not and cannot be sacrificed. Okay, so that's why we consider the safety at the very, very beginning of the product, even at the product definition, not even started at the definition side, right? So a very, very good example here is we have our X-Craft. It is an AR headset, so it's a binocular. It's based on waveguide. So it is not considered all the safety requirements, but we also passed the certificate called ATEX Zone 1, which is explosion proof certificate. Okay, so even today, this is the world's only one of its kind augmented reality glass with Zone 1 explosion proof certificate. So the certificate itself, it's not like the product development. So the certificate, this process took us 2.5 years. You can imagine there are tremendous engineering hours,
Amazing.
engineering work back and forth. So the certificate lab we are working with, they're the world's best lab, but they have no experience on certifying such a complicated AR device for explosion proof. No one have any prior knowledge, right?
I can
So
imagine.
we are very, very proud of our engineer and our partners. But this definitely worth it because the safety, we can make sure we deliver the device to the site and then the front workers, so they will be able to benefit from the technology without any safety
Amazing.
concerns.
Amazing, amazing. Congrats to the whole team. Like, of course, safety is one of them, but you would definitely agree that the user experience with the smart glasses and in industrial usage, it is completely different than the tools that we are already using, right? Like phones, tablets, etc. So it is like the user experience is completely different. Like, and here we are talking about the hardware and also the software. How you interact with the hardware is the software part. How do you see that match? What is the combination of it? How do you see, for example, a company like Rokid and VSight? How do you see that combination? And from which standing point do you see that the match is very important for the customers? For example, how do you measure that?
Yeah. So Chihat, currently, like the phone, the tablet, the computer, so it's been evolving for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, right? So they can already have this ecosystem here. But now in the AR regime, we are building this ecosystem together. So the software partner, like, VSight, right? So you guys are the key successful element to this. Only working together, we will be able to bring a total solution to an end customer. Because at this point, so unless you bring the solution to the customer, they will understand the value. But if you bring the solution piece by piece, right? So the customer, they will not be able to see the whole picture. They will not be able to see the benefit. So it only works when we're working closely together with great partner like VSight.
Amazing, amazing. Good to hear.
Yes.
Um, I think we have a lot of use cases in different sectors, but talking about the organizations and the organizations that are implementing it, how, like, which type of organizations do you think are the perfect match for such a technology? Do you believe that every organization can implement such a solution with the smart glasses, with remote assistance, workflows, etc.?
hmm Yeah, like any technology. So it needs some time for all the companies, all the like organizations to adapt to the new technology. So
We are also learning, right? We
yes,
are definitely learning.
exactly. So that's why for Rokid, we primarily supporting three main verticals. Okay, so the first vertical, which is in energy segment, we are working in oil, gas, renewable energy, etc. So the reason being here is that they are heavy duty works, right? So it's not only require hands free, but a lot of times there are a lot of knowledges in the industry. Okay, so the AR so far, I think that is only one technology can help the field worker whenever they need support, either from their system or from the senior personnel, right? So that can bring the benefit. So the second one, which is we are supporting a lot, is logistics. So currently we are working with some like the largest logistic companies in the world to help them to avoid the operators to make mistakes for delivering the packages. In this case, they will be able to keep their promise, say, okay, this will be received the second day, etc. So the logistic industry, they have a quite a bit like repeatable work, and those mistakes are really, really hard to avoid, right? But it can also means it costs millions of dollars every day. Okay, so we help them reduce the error rate to from 0.5% to 0%. Sounds a small amount, but it's cute. It like save a lot of money. So the third one, which we are focusing, is on the lighter industry. It's education and culture. So currently, we already work with over 350 like museums, culture centers across the globe. Because AR, it can bring much more enriched experience, much better experience compared to all the traditional experience in the culture space. So those are the three main verticals we are working on. They are very, very different, but at the core, we're trying to give people different experience so they can get their work better.
Amazing, amazing. I think also, as I said, we are learning with the customer themselves. I mean, they tell us a lot. They tell us about their use cases. That's also amazing. Many times, I'm got it, and I'm amazed how different and not known use cases the customer themselves they found out, and with our product that we weren't thinking about it. That's really amazing. It's all about that kickoff. If they can start using it, if we can bring the barrier down, and then if we can help them to start using it, I think that's the most important part.
Yes, so there's a good example is that for the museum, after we deploy like 200 museums, so we start to understand, okay, so what is average customer they are looking for? So what are the consumers they really wanted to wear on their devices? We call those scenario are to B to B to C. But with this, we are able to get a lot of feedback, and we push back to our product design, and that was a foundation for our consumer department. And now we have released our consumer product. So it was facing directly to consumer. We have sold many devices already. So that success was based on the B2B business as well.
Amazing, amazing. Liang, there are a lot of technologies around augmented reality. I mean, like AI or IoT. I think they complement each other. How do you see that match? How do you use those technologies? Everyone is talking about the generative AI right now. It is disrupting many industries. How do you see the impact of it in AR in specifically industrial use cases, IoT and AI? I'm
Mhm.
very curious about your opinion, actually.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's very, very interesting because for Rokid, from day one, we are looking at ourselves. We're not only AR company. Actually, we start from the speech recognition, the voice technology, etc. And even today, we have a team of research scientists, all PhD. So they are working on various different projects, right? So which including the generative AI as well. So we believe that all the IoT, all the AI technology, they will be the engine for the AI or for the AR content or for the AR fundamental, supporting. So the AR will be your window, so you can see through. But then there's like the engine, right? So behind it. So we believe the generative AI or IoT technology, they will be supporting the AR development as well. Okay, so there's are no any conflicts, but they will be working seamlessly in the future.
Nice, nice. And how do you see the market, Liang? What do you think about the adoption in the market, especially for industries?
Yes, I believe that. So we've been. I'm a true AR believer, right? So I think like I've been working in the AR industry for about 7 or 8 years, uh, or even longer, right? But I think what I observe is a lot of things like people imagine and they have a long term when they become like the main adoption. But we can see this phenomenon. The new technology they will go through from the early adoption to the mass adoption, and the cycles they are getting shorter and shorter, right? So, for example, like the hardware, they're a bit hard to track. The reason being there are a lot of manufacturer, there are a lot of different devices. But if you look at today's software space, right? For example, like Netflix, they reached their 1 million user use 3.5 years. Okay. And the Twitter, they use 2 years. Facebook, they use 10 months. And ChatGPT, they use only 5 days. Okay. So we believe that one day, if the technology is proven, it will scale itself at a very, very enormous speed. I believe we're right at this point right now.
I think we're just starting. I think this is just like small start of the effect of this technology. Overall, I think we have way to go. And with numerous very good software and hardware vendors in the market, how do you envision in 5 years, Liang, where we will be? What kind of perspective you have in 5 years? What do you think?
Mhm.
And also, I'm very curious. How do you also put the rocket in that vision?
Yes. So Cihat, if we look back, for if we look at the future, we should look at back at the history, right? So it's very, very interesting. In the past, we also see a lot of hardware company for AR. They trying to do very, very interesting work. Very, very respectful companies. However, so the AR field, okay, what I see is they can be tougher and tougher, right? So we will be expecting to see more consolidations in the next 3 to 5 years. So this is including not only the hardware, but also for the software as well. So we're a very, very powerful platform. They will be able to meet not only the general market needs, but they will also be able to serve for the niche markets as well. Okay, so it will be very, very challenging to a lot of AR companies, and we see in this history as well, right? That's why we need to working very closely together. So we want to make it through.
Definitely, we will do. Definitely, we will do. I
Mm.
think again. I mean, it is just the start, and I'm very optimistic. And I'm very curious, actually, excited about the future because it seems like the end result is on day one, and that's why it is more compelling to invest and to be in that scene because when you see, like for example, a mining site in Chile is using VSight to connect to remote sites, which normally they couldn't do. When you see that for example, the effect of it, the time saving is huge. Instead of like months of the back and forth, and you just like solve it in 10 minutes, you give that kind of special stick to the people that they can use actually in their life. I feel sometimes like that. I think this is also effect of being a bit of engineering minded person, I would say. So
Exactly.
I'm getting in love with the technology more and more.
That's right. That's why, we're still in this space and we believe this space will eventually, everybody will know the space as well, right?
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. Good to know. So, talking about the rocket, can you share something that hasn't been publicly shared? Let's say with our audience, can you share something specific, Liang? What do you think?
Okay. So that's okay. That's fair question,
I
right?
think I think we deserve it. I think we deserve it.
Of course, of course. Okay, so let's understand, from Rokid started day one in 2014. Okay, so our vision, we wanted to be the best in the global market, okay, in the next less than 5 years, right? So we know that we're going to be competing with the best AR companies. It could be, the giant company like Apple, Google, Meta, or maybe some other newcomers like us, right? We are preparing that, pretty much like every day, right? And now we are extremely lucky. We gathered a very strong team, a great team, and also there are great partners. They have to share the similar vision with us, and we also have great, investor. They are backing us. Thank them for that, doing that as well. Okay, so this month was like extremely busy for us because we just released our Rocket Max and Rocket Station 2 days ago. Okay, so this is a collaborative work with Google. World's first AR devices with Google TV support. So this is consumer,
Amazing.
and this is already on our website. Okay, so currently it's on pre-order stage, but we will be start shipping uh, pretty much like end of the month. Okay, and another exciting news is later this month, uh, August 26th. we will be launching our next new platform. Okay, I assure you that it will be a mind-blowing platform. It has many, many potentials to change the industry. So I really looking forward to see people's reaction after it being released. Keep tuned on that.
Looking forward for that, Liang. Looking forward. I'm also very curious. Liang, thank you very much. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here in as a special guest on our first episode of this show, and I'm sure that we will be more and more in touch for the future. So, thanks a lot for joining us. Would you like to say something at the end?
Thank you, Cihat. Again, thank you for having me here today. I'm really, really excited to be here. Okay, so let's see what's gonna be happening next, and let's drive the future together.
Looking forward for that, Liang. Thanks a lot. Also, for our audience, please go to VSight YouTube channel and subscribe from the link below to get the new episodes and everything new about the field forward every month. If you like what you heard, please leave us a feedback. We would love to see your comments, and we would appreciate a lot that it will make this show even better. Also, we're gonna try something new. If you're interested in recording and sending us your questions, actually we will feature those and answer those in the next episode. So please do so. You can find the link again below. But I would also thank you very, very much, all the audience, to listen this. My name is Cihat Kahraman. You have just listened Field Forward, the ultimate A to Z podcast for the field operations specialists.